Hey everybody, welcome to the Tribe of Leaders podcast. I'm your host, Emi Kirschner. On today's show and for the next couple of weeks, we're going to mix things up a little bit and we're going to have different people interviewing me. So this show, we have Cooley, who's one of the members in the Tribe of Leaders Biz School, interviewing me and asking the questions that everybody seems to want to know and haven't found out yet. Super excited about it. I had a ton of fun with her. And if you love this show or any of the other shows you've listened to, do me a super important favor and share it with somebody that you know.
My name is Emi Kirschner. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. The one thing that I get asked all the time is, how do you achieve success in business and make an impact? In each episode of the Tribe of Leaders podcast, you'll hear from entrepreneurs and visionaries who share how their leadership has changed not only their lives, but the lives of everybody around them.
Emi, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here on the other end of the microphone today.
I'm excited to be on this side of things because I get to interview you.
Right?
Yeah.
Ask the questions that everybody wants to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Inside Emi's brain.
Oh, it's a crazy place. But lots of sparkles and glitter.
Lots of sparkles.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to dive in.
Okay.
Because everybody's curious. So what led you to become a business coach?
Sure. So that was the most unexpected and yet very organic experience I've probably ever had. In that I started my business as a health coach. I have always loved healthy eating. I'm passionate about people living their best self, and I still am. And it was probably like 4 years ago, I woke up and I was like, I don't want to have to write another blog about the 5 things that you should eat right now. It doesn't resonate with me. And if I have to do that anymore, I'm going to throw up.
That's probably not a good thing for a health coach to feel.
Right? Or anybody in their business. Like, you're not excited about the thing that you're supposed to do. And I started looking at, well, what am I going to do about that?
That's always a good question.
Right? And then it was, oh, well, let me look at my clients. When I'm marketing and when I'm, looking at growing, I'm always looking at who am I serving right now and how am I serving them? And I wasn't really health coaching. I was doing a lot of stress management, but I was already working with entrepreneurs, and I realized that the stress management and some of the eating habits was really the symptom of my business isn't doing well. And I had already started helping them with sales and marketing strategies.
With your health coaching.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I did not know all of that before.
Yeah.
So that's really interesting.
And my background is so varied from, catering and personal chefing and understanding the sales behind that, to event planning and convention conference planning, to working for a marketing agency, financial services.
Oh, I was going to say everything was very creative up until you got to financial services.
Right?
How does that play into this?
That's still crazy. And what I'm really passionate about is people who want to help other people. And most financial services, advisors, they want to help other people.
Right,
they want to make a difference with your money, and they want people to be abundant.
Right.
And have the resources that they need.
That makes sense. That all ties in.
And I love money. So
I think everybody does.
Right? So if I could make a lot of money while people were making money, that was great. But when I found out that where I was just age-wise, I was still in my 20s at that point, and the industry, the way I perceive it to have been, and the place that I was working just didn't align for me. So I switched things up. But they have all contributed to my ability to help people now.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then, so with your coaching, I feel like a lot of the people that you're helping are creatives just like you. Is that true? Or do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody that I work with, and not necessarily like an artist.
Right.
But they have a more creative brain.
Absolutely.
They're not left brain dominant. They're not, strictly logical. Mm-hmm. Speaking, and obviously we have both pieces in us, but
right.
But I think the really key thing is not only are they creative, they're really passionate. It's what I said before about helping other people. They're really passionate about making a difference, and they started their business because of that. not because I wanted to run a business.
Right.
And those are two totally different things.
Oh, they are.
So I get to help them learn to love running the business.
And I feel like attracts like, and you're very creative. And I think that you're just attracting all of these other people that also are super creative minded, whether they're, a chef or a graphic designer or a photographer, hairdresser, whatever it might be. It's definitely, it doesn't have to be an art form per se. Yeah. That's very awesome. Well, speaking of creativity, you have a lot of creativity in the kitchen. So can you tell us a little bit about your background, how you got to be such an amazing chef, I should say?
Thank you. Yes. So my initial foray into cooking started because, and I think I was in like 4th or 5th grade.
Very young chef.
And I wasn't really cooking so much as I was bored of whatever it was my mom was making on a regular basis. And I wanted to do things differently. So she was like, fine. She's like, I don't have time to look for new recipes. So
that you do it, right?
So you do it. So I found some, and I think we probably cooked together, but primarily she still cooked.
Okay.
And I mean, that's kind of like says a lot about who I am in that I want a lot of interaction and engagement, and I want things to be mixed up. I'm not the same old person.
No.
Right?
That's true. And that's a very good way.
However anybody wants to take it.
I take it in a very good way.
And then kind of fast forward into my 20s, very early 20s, and I got really tired of having what I refer to as slab of overcooked chicken and frozen vegetables, because that's what what I knew how to really cook.
Right.
So a friend of mine was making stuff. We started sharing recipes, and I just started cooking. And then I started, because my ex-husband had gotten laid off, I started catering. And the catering led to me cooking even more because they had some amazing chefs at this catering company up in Massachusetts.
So my guess is that you kind of learned from them as well. And
yeah, so there was, hours and years of playing in the kitchen and just starting.
That sounds amazing and fun.
It was, but sometimes dinner took 2 hours, but it should have only taken 30 minutes because I was slow. I didn't know how to use a knife properly. Yeah. But I soon became the person who did all the family events, and then I started doing other people's family events, and I was a personal chef.
And today, you've started the community table this past year, right? Where you gather people. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is my almost monthly live event, and it really came to fruition last year, right about this time, because I saw a need for people wanting to connect. And not just in another networking environment, not with another.
Only so many that you can go to.
Right. Well, and here in Philly, we have an overabundance of networking groups. And I haven't been to all of them, obviously, but they're all great. They all serve people. There's nothing wrong or bad or they're fine.
Right.
But I feel like we don't need another one for me.
Yeah.
And particularly here in Philly, and I know it's different in other parts of the country, but those networking groups, you can be overwhelmed with 3 times a day, 7 days a week, 365 a year, and still not go to all of them.
And still not have time to work on your business because you're going to all of these events anyhow.
And then marry that with, I'd kind of stopped cooking over the last several years because my kids are teenagers, they're older, our schedule was crazy. And
not a lot of dinners around the family table.
Yeah. What
I get that.
they grew up with had just stopped. It didn't work anymore. Mm-hmm. And I missed, and they don't care about my rustic chicken and polenta. They don't care about the thing I spent about 3 hours. Right? So I wanted to be able to marry my desire to cook and my love of entertaining with creating deeper, more meaningful relationships that still lead to business.
Right.
So that's what began. I did the last one this January 2019. I did the first one, 2019. And it's been a growing and super fun experience since then. And
definitely
we're going to be doing vision boarding in December. So
which I am looking forward to.
Yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And I'm going to keep doing them. And really what I'd love to see is to be able to have these events in other cities, other states, and maybe whoever's leading them doesn't cook. Maybe it gets catered. Maybe it's in a restaurant, but it's still about having
the relationship
and great food.
Yeah.
not just the buffet, of like chicken piccata, or there's like the same
Right.
stuff that you see, but something that's different, that's interesting, that can bind people. One of the things that I used to say as a health coach, and I still believe, and when you start thinking about it, is that all of our cultural traditions from birth to death revolve around food.
They do. Everything revolves around food.
Right? And everything about food to me has meaning because it creates life.
Right.
Right? You can be exceptionally healthy or exceptionally unwell just by what you eat.
Very true.
And because I really, want to focus on how do we create the most energy, having good food that's good quality, and the conversation is...
And it just naturally builds those relationships because you're bringing everyone together, you're communing over the food, and just chatting, not just about business, but about life and
right.
where you're from, who you are as a person, not just, here, take my card, which you get at a lot of the networking events, sadly.
Well, and even beyond that, like I've had some, minimal conversation, like 5 minutes or whatever, with some people that I would love to know more about, but they don't really fit into necessarily my box of what I'm looking for a business partner, a lead, some sort of relationship. And I don't necessarily always follow up with them. And 90% of people don't follow up with whoever they spoke to or got their card from.
That's a big number.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this gives people a very intimate setting because there's, between 12 and 15 people, and where business still gets talked about. But in having, we would do the topic of the month's conversation, and having that, you get the different perspectives. And there's something I think very unifying about that. Like you feel closer to those people, and you're more likely to reach out to them for a project or whatever.
The past community table, I mean, you had asked us about impact, and the ideas that were bouncing around were pretty much consistent. Everyone really was saying the same thing in a different way. Mm-hmm. And then the conversation just really flowed from one person to another. And it was fantastic because you don't get that kind of feel at a networking event. It's just very brief. How are you? Let's connect over coffee sometime.
Yeah.
But this one, it was so great to be a part of it and really, I guess, acknowledge other people and how they feel too.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool.
Thank you. I'm really excited because each conversation topic for me is about having people be more intentional with what they're doing.
Right.
And I think impact right now is kind of overused, as I said then.
Right.
So what does that really mean for us? And it doesn't have to mean the same thing. And that's what I love, is that there is the variation and our approach can be totally different, but we're now more intentional about how we're going to do that and what that can look like and what the possibility is for us to expand our reach.
Right.
To make shifts in the world.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
So the other thing about the community table is I feel like it leads in and ties in very well with your Facebook group, Tribe of Leaders. I feel like we have the same type of community there, not face to face, but at least we've met face to face perhaps at the community table, and we can continue building the relationships there and then have you inspire us as well almost every day.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to grow. In general, like that's my purpose is I want to be able to help entrepreneurs make more money, and I want them to be able to make more money so that they can help other people. Mm-hmm. And for me, that's how we're going to create world change. So it's really getting down into that grassroots nitty gritty to have this huge world picture. And I think that in the next 5 to 10 years, we're going to see, because I'm not the only one doing this, this is just my version.
Right.
We're going to see a tidal wave of shift that I think can radically change how the world looks at, let's go with peace, but because that's my ultimate goal. But I think we're going to look at one another differently with less fear, less discrimination, and more openness and connectivity.
I know I would love to see that happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's my
awesome.
My huge goal.
I love it. All right. Well, then, how about we narrow down that goal? And what are you looking forward to for 2020? It's coming up.
God, so many things.
It's perfect vision 2020. So
right? Thank God I have my contacts in, so it really is 2020. a couple of different things. One is growing this podcast. Like I really want to be able to, grow the number of subscribers and downloads, because I think some of the stories that are being told are so fabulous outside of my own.
Right. They have been.
That are so cool. And I want people to hear them, because I want them to hear that the challenges and the struggles and the successes that the people that are on the podcast are experiencing are the same ones that you have.
We're not alone.
Right. Absolutely not alone. So that's one of my big missions. I'm going to host my first one-day mastermind, and I'd love to have 100 people in the room in March.
That would be so exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it. I've wanted to do this. Has been on my bucket list for like 4 years. So that's going to happen.
Pretty incredible. So that will be in March, hopefully.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna take the tribal leaders on the road. I think that'll be fall.
Oh.
Yeah. So where can we bring and broaden our circle of people?
Right.
And what cities do we go play with next?
That's exciting.
Yeah. So those are kind of my goals for next year.
Okay. Well, then let's deep dive into goals.
Okay.
Next 5 to 10 years. What do you envision for the Biz School and Tribe of Leaders and Emi?
Yeah. So for me personally, it's traveling. Like I want to be able to create, and I'm halfway there right now, but a business so I can work from anywhere. And I really want to spend...
It's a very nice goal.
Yeah. It's the best part of being a freedom nester. Kids are gone. I can do whatever I want within reason.
Exactly.
But I want to see the world, because I think having the experience of different cultures, people, thoughts will broaden my perspective of how I can serve people.
And help your grassroots movement.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I'd love to be able to speak more. A couple of 5 to 10, do a TEDx talk, be it on the stage, the main stage of the.
You would be amazing for a TEDx talk.
Thank you. But I want to be on the main stage of the Pennsylvania Women's Conference in front of 10,000 women. Yeah.
That's a lofty goal.
I love it. That'd be so much fun.
And I would be shrinking behind the scenes.
A couple hundred, 10,000. It's all good.
You could handle it, for sure.
It's just practice.
Exactly.
But I'd really like to see, in the next year, our membership get up to 500 people in the biz school, and then just grow it from there to whatever is sustainable so that it works for everybody, because I want to have the same relationships and accountability in little groups. So
it wouldn't be the same if you didn't have that little touch with everybody. Yeah.
So at some point I'll bring on other coaches to help maintain that, because I can't grow effectively and scale effectively if I don't have support.
Right.
So one of the things I'm starting to look at is, what do those coaches look like? What skills do they need? How do we all balance each other?
I was just going to say, you would need to find people that can help balance what you have.
Yeah.
And you'll need some different personalities to make sure everyone fits in together. Trying to figure out how to say that, but I can't think of it.
That's okay.
It's Monday. I probably still need more coffee.
Yes, absolutely. So that's kind of what I'm thinking the next 5 to 10 years. So
that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. I wish you all of the best.
Thank you.
So cool.
Yeah. That'll be fun.
I'm trying to think of any more questions for you. But I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything else that you would like to add?
Well, what I would love is for you to share, because you are in the biz school right now.
Yes.
What your experience is and how it's helped you.
I think my favorite thing right now, either the co-working days or your teaching days. Because actually maybe both, because I love how during the teaching moments that when you're sharing with us, I've learned a lot from that. But then the co-working day kind of ties in with that. So it sinks in even more and helps push me a little bit further than what I thought I could do.
Okay.
I think that's one of my favorite things are those two. But I love how you have everything up there ready to grab. Here, watch this video. It's there if you miss it. Just the resources that you have on there right now.
Okay,
it's been
cool.
really good. And just having you around. It's my favorite thing.
Aww. There you go. So everybody should come in and I invite them, but into the Biz School, because we are going to be doing a relaunch and opening membership up in January.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's coming up.
So,
so if you're
come
not
play with
part
us.
of it, come
play.
join.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do like a 30-day free trial for people. So
that'd be good.
You can come and hang out and do the training and the co-working and see if it works for you, and really get your feet wet with the resources that are in there.
Right.
But yeah, I'm really excited about it. I have a couple of new tribe mentors that are going to be starting.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Yeah. One in
Any
finance.
Any hints about who might be coming in?
One in finance.
Okay.
And I'm going to leave the other one
a mystery
right now.
I have to wait until January?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll be satisfied with that.
So, yeah.
Awesome. I can't wait.
No, it's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah.
So this was so much fun. I'm so glad that you wanted to interview me.
I did. I mean, you were always talking about everybody else, getting us all to talk to you and open up to you.
Right.
So it was kind of fun getting to hear a little bit behind the facade.
And the glitter, yes. Well, thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Awesome.
Yay.
As an entrepreneur, do you ever feel isolated, like you're just grinding away and not getting to the place or reaching the goals that you want? Maybe you've realized that you just spent days, weeks, or even months trying to accomplish something only to figure out that the answer that you have would have saved you all of that time. I know I've had that experience, and my clients have as well. And that's why I created the Tribe of Leaders Biz School. Get the accountability, the training, and the knowledge base in a community of like-minded people who are there to support you. Go ahead and check it out. It's thetribeofleaders.com.